What's happening, golfing fans? Welcome back to the channel, brought to you in association with betting.co.uk. I'm your host Ginger Joe, and I'm back again with my weekly golf selections for you. But of course, this week's a little bit extra special as we finally landed on the first golf major of the season. It's time for the Masters at Augusta National, and I can't wait to just glue myself to that sofa for 4 days and watch this whole thing unfold. Now, if you're new to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a great deal, and you generally get a good bit of karma for doing so as well. And just something else to mention, if you are after my selections before they go live in videos or anywhere else, come over and join my free golf and horse racing group chat using the free link in the description below. And that is where I post all of my selections before they go live anywhere else on YouTube or over on betting.co.uk. But I do have a column coming out on betting.co.uk this evening, so do stay tuned for that as well. But look, we're going to get straight in onto the action. You only want to hear the selections, so we're going to go straight into the business end. I've got 5 selections for you to take a look at this week. And we'll start off by taking a quick look at the course. Of course, it's at the Masters, Augusta National, 7,475 yards of pure golf heaven. Designed by Alistair McKenzie and, of course, co-founded by Bobby Jones. They are two people we definitely owe a little bit of a thank you to whilst this week is going ahead. This wouldn't have happened at all without these two gentlemen. Tons of history here at Augusta as well. Maybe the only place that's got more history is potentially St Andrews, but two very, very good courses nonetheless. But the Masters is definitely by far my favourite major, despite being here in Britain. You think it would be the British Open, but there's just something really magical about Augusta and the Masters, and I cannot wait to see who wins it this year. So last year's winner was Scotty Scheffler. If we take a bit of a look at the course, the driving definitely suits a right to left shaped shot, but I don't think this is essential. We've actually had plenty of winners that play a fade off the tee, especially in recent years, that have gone on to actually win at Augusta. But the key point for me is actually down to the iron play. I think you need really good distance control if you're going to get yourself winning a Masters. Everything around the greens at Augusta seems to lead away from the greens, slope away. You've got a few bunkers as well covering certain areas, and then you've got a little bit of water short. However, all of the greens have slopes going away. All the contours run away from the green, so I think trying to find that flat spot on the green is absolutely vital. You definitely need to be a good ball striker, in particular with your irons this week, and of course that putter still also needs to be rocking. It's a very unique track. I can't see too much of a shock on the cards in the Masters. It doesn't tend to happen too much, but I've got 5 selections I fancy for you, and I'm pretty sweet on those already. Now, I have already advised one selection, and that is Justin Thomas, but that's in my each way lucky 15 for the all 4 majors. I have done a video for that as well, and I'll just pop a link in the description below if you'd like to go over and check that out. But we'll move straight on to the selections. My number 1 selection is world number 7, Xander Schauffele at 20-1. He's just a very, very well-rounded player. He hasn't yet won a major, but he's young, he's improving, and I don't think it's going to be too long till he manages to get himself one of these jackets. He managed to finish 2nd in the British Open. He's finished 2nd here at the Masters, and I just think that experience is starting to help him a little bit. He's had a couple of quiet years knocking on the door, but I really do think this year could be the year for Xander Schauffele. So at 20-1, Xander Schauffele is selection number 1. My second selection is 2021 Masters winner Hideki Matsuyama at 25-1. World number 21 in the world at the moment. And I actually mentioned last week that he's a player that was coming in form just for the right time for Augusta. And he did actually play quite nicely last week, but he seems to be having one good round and then a steady round. A good round, a steady round. But I think that's perfect. It's going to peak just at the right time. And he's one that doesn't really crack under pressure as well. He comes to Augusta and seems to play his game every single time. He's won here once, and I think he's going to have a really good chance of getting his 2nd green jacket. So the second selection is Hideki Matsuyama at 25-1. Selection number 3 is my first English selection. In fact, my only English selection. World number 32, Tommy Fleetwood at 45-1. And like Matsuyama, he's had a decent start to the 2023 season, playing quite nicely. But Tommy Fleetwood's brilliant with his irons. I really do think he's quite well suited to the track, even though, again, I said it's not necessarily vital. But I do think that iron play that Tommy Fleetwood had is going to be a massive bonus for him coming into this week's round. I feel actually his 2023 season has all been about peaking at the right time, and I think it's coming just at the right time for the Masters. He's had some big wins in his career already, Tommy Fleetwood, so he definitely knows how to get the job done. I think he won the HSBC twice, and he also won the French Open as well. I'm pretty sure he's going to go really well this year, and at 45-1, I think he's a bit of a good bet. My fourth selection is going to be Norwegian Victor Hovland at 33 to 1. Generally 25 to 1, but you get 33 to 1 with Betfred. And again, he's a very well-established player. He's only 25 at the moment, but he is the 2018 US Amateur Champion, and he has actually since then won on the DP World Tour, the PGA Tour, and he's had various other wins as well. I do think that by the time that he gets to the Masters as well, he's one that doesn't really feel the pressure. His swing is quite short and snappy, and I quite like that because there's not too much options for things to go wrong. Very good iron player. Putts pretty well on a good day, and he obviously tees off with Tiger on day one as well. So I could see Victor Hovland going very well here as well at 33 to 1. And then my final selection is Max Homa at 25 to 1. Now, he's a very, very well-established player, turning into a proper classy act. He actually won at the end of 2022, and then he actually started by winning the Farmers as well in 2023 before finishing second at the Genesis. He's a player that's coming right into form, and his swing is absolutely poetry in motion. You could stand him within a doorway and he wouldn't even hit the side. Absolutely brilliant player, turning into quite the following as well. He's actually got a lot of backing since his wins. He's a very nice guy, Max Homa. I could just see the way that he's been playing in recent times. I think he's going to go pretty well at 25 to 1 as well. So just to recap on those selections, my number one selection is Xander Schauffele. My number two selection is Hideki Matsuyama. We've got Tommy Fleetwood at 45s, Victor Hovland at 33s, and then Max Homa at 25 to 1. Do let me know, obviously, who you fancy as well for this week's Masters. I'd be very intrigued to see your reasoning behind these selections as well. Give me a bit of info to why you fancy a particular player in this week's event. But I do hope you enjoy the Masters. As I said, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and come over and join the group chat if you'd like to get some free bets and early selections out there as well. And I'll be sat there for the 4 days talking golf and horse racing. Thanks again to everybody that's tuning in. Don't forget to check me out on betting.co.uk. But bye for now. Thanks for tuning in.